Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host, Josiah, aka Mahler67, and with me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't really complain. More or less, I just basically spent all day, watching the rest of the boys and recovering from playing Magic last night, and then being up till like 4 a.m. watching the boys and playing games. I've been on this really big kick of playing like roguelike games. And so I was playing like this one that was like one of the it very much reminded me of like a phone game almost that was a roguelike. It was fun, but it's not out yet, so it's like a demo, so I'm like, whatever, throw that off. And then the other one is one called like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's basically like you have dice. It's like rune dice or rune something. I can't remember. But it's like you have you have like a little guy up top, and it's like RPG where like they slash and attack each other. But you have a dice that's all on the board, and you have to shoot a dice to connect with another dice that has the same number, and then each one you collect and like they merge off to your left, they stack up, and then at the end of that turn you'll attack for each dice you have and what you're able to get up to and everything. It was fun. I played the demo. It's like $14, and I was like, it's a fun game. It has no meta progression, which is something that I personally enjoy in like roguelikes whenever you have some form of meta progression.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy it unless it goes on sale for 50% off during the Steam Summer Sale at the end of the month. So we'll see. Other than that, I got my furniture. It is massive. It is huge. It is large. I have to reorganize the house because of it. Not a lot, but it's nice. Like I had everyone over to play Magic last night, and everyone's like, "Yeah, no, these are good chairs. These are nice chairs." People were constantly sitting in them, and then like we'd play a Magic, and then once we were done, everyone would go sit in those chairs again. And it's like, yeah, very good. And they also came with a lot of throw pillows we don't need, but they're all the same throw pillars too, so they all like everything matches. And it makes me laugh because Molly loves them, but I'm like, we're trying to keep her from like clawing them up, and she doesn't claw them up when we're not in there. Like when we're in there, she'll like try to do it, and we'll stop her, and then she gets upset. But she's been doing that thing where like cats, like you'll probably see it online, where like they'll lay down next to it and then they'll use their claw to like pull themselves underneath of it, and so you just hear like her like underneath of it, like traveling underneath the couch and everything by like pulling herself around. And it's just funny. It's funny, it's enjoyable, it's nice. I moved some things around, like the little area where it's supposed to be like a dining room table and whatnot. I've rearranged it to put the cat tree in the center on the corner, and then the two other chairs that we had right there. So it's like a little cat corner. And I moved Molly's litter in here with me. Because I'm like, no, guests don't have to look at it, and then I can just deal with it being in my room. Who cares? Like, I was used to that already from my last place. So have it here. I got like a little container thing on it, so like it stands on top. Like it's like a little table thing. And then I got like a cover thing that I won't put over it. So it'll be good. Plus, with it being in here, I'll like clean it out more often and everything, and Molly won't look at me and be like, "Father, my dookie will not go away no more. Clean it up."
Clean it up.
Yes, Princess Donut. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, I'm just kind of ranting here for a second because I haven't seen you. I haven't talked to you in a bit. Do you know anything about Dungeon Crawler Carl?
So the only thing I know is from what you told me when we were at Half Price Books last time. So
okay, when you come up next, I bought the audiobook for it. I would like you to listen to it. If you want to, I think I'll have to send you my credentials so you can log into my Audible.
Or I
But
can just get it because I have like 14 Audible credits.
if you got credits, do it. I listened to it. I bought it on Tuesday, I think it was. I bought it on. I have 4 hours left, and I only listened to it on Wednesday. Is 20 hours of a book. I listened to it nearly nonstop. It is very well done. The person who read the book is very well. I was listening to it for free on YouTube. To be fair, I started like at chapter 16 or whatever. Whenever I got the IO book, but I just binged the crap out of it. I have 4 hours left, and the only reason why I have 4 hours is because I'm like, I need to let this sit because I don't get another credit to get the next book until next month. So I need to chill. But it's really good. I think you would enjoy Austin, and one of the characters is a cat named Princess Donut, and that's why I made that joke. Hey, Molly. So Austin, how was your week?
You know, I'm off for the next 2 weeks because of how school elapsed with my new job. So I've been off for the last week, just getting stuff done. I ended up going to Pearl Valley Cheese yesterday with JT and then my wife and her mom. So we went there, and then I went to a little sponsorship here, a little Familiar Con. I went to Familiar Con.
Do they have any of that stuff left at the place? Would I be able to Venmo you some stuff and you get me some merchandise? Coffee, like any coffee mugs, or because like they showed off some of the stuff. But like I wasn't able to go because I had the furniture thing got moved to this, so I was like, well, guess I can't. But I would still love to buy some of that stuff because I was trying to convince people up here to go, but I couldn't get them. Hi, Molly.
Well, it was a pretty big success that like they're gonna do another one. They said
that's good.
Some of the cool things that were there, like there was a guy that was handcrafting like little miniature models. Like he was handcrafting them like by clay and stuff. Like he had a Captain America with like a shield. He had like a bunch of Fallout stuff, a lot of Cthulhu stuff, and he was like handcrafting these figures in his like little venue. And I was like, that is sweet, dude. Like this is awesome. Like they were really cool. And I thought about the Captain America one. I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool. But I was like, where am I gonna put it? Like I live in a small house, and I don't. This is kind of my corner, and that's pretty much it, And then like me and my wife decorate other things. So like I was like, where would I even put that big figurine? So I didn't get that. They have a card game there that everyone has been lately, like it's been blowing up at Familiar Con. It's called Journey. And it's like a D&D card game, but it's like really easy to play. It's like Magic almost, supposedly. And I've thought about like maybe getting into it because starter decks are only like $15. And that'd be kind of cool, like support those people. I went and got a couple Magic cards there. Got a sourdough chocolate chip cookie there. It was pretty good. And there was like at least 10 vendors there, and then they had like miniature painting, and they had a whole bunch of cool stuff. So I got to do that. I've been pretty much just getting the house around because I'm going to be busy for the next couple weeks. Because I do have like a lot of things planned. I have me coming to Pittsburgh at the end of this month. I'm going to a baseball game with my wife and you, and then we're going to hang out in Pittsburgh for a while. That on top of that, I've been just I've been play testing a couple games right now that I've been invited to. Like I play test
Must Be Nice, baby.
Tears of Metal, which is one that you've been wanting to play test for a while.
Yeah. At this point, it's basically been confirmed. Like the next thing that comes out will just be the game. So they're like, "There's no other playtest." And I was like, you know what? That's okay with me. It's like a month, and then I'll get to play maybe 2, depending on the quality of stuff.
And the thing is right now it's kind of bugged right now. Like there's some things going on with the game. So
it's in
makes
play
sense.
Test.
It's in playtest, and then I'm playtesting Hell Let Loose Vietnam. The playtest got released, and then I was like one of the people that got selected. I was like, hey, I can play this now. Hell Let Loose is like Medal of Honor kind of game, so it's like a first-person shooter, but it's more realistic. So it's like Battlefield almost. So I've been doing that, rearranged the room. I finally modded the PS1 correctly. It took me 3 days straight, 3 days of figuring it out. I finally modded it. I was having a problem with like one, it was slow at booting games and stuff, and I was like, I don't know how I could do this. And then come to find out that the 2.0 flash drive I was using wasn't one that they recommended for it, so I had to get a SanDisk lighter, and now it loads like fast. And then I was having problems where I'd put like multi-discs on things, and it would read like 4 separate games. So it'd be like, I tried to put Final Fantasy, what was it, 9 on there. No, it wasn't 9. The one with Squall. Is that 8?
8, yeah.
Yeah. So like 8 was coming up like 4 times in a category as a game. And I was like, oh no. And then Legend Dragoon was 4. And then Chrono Cross was 2. And I was like, why is this not reading that it has separate discs? And then I had to go in and I found, it took me like 2 days to figure out. Some guy posted a video, was like, you have to go into the game information on those folders and go, Legend Dragoon, disc 1, comma. And he's like, you have to put the comma because that's what the disc is reading. And then after I did it, it works now. So me and my wife's been playing PlayStation. She's been playing Tigger Honey Hunt. We played Monopoly last night. Bugs Life. She's been playing.
That's what you sent me the picture of the NASCAR thing, right?
Yeah. So that
I didn't know what you. I'm like, why did you send me this?
So I don't know if you remember this. PlayStation 1, Denny and Chad used to play NASCAR, that NASCAR game, all the time. That's why I didn't know if you remember it. Nope. I think you remember Bloody Roar.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember because the freaking bunny was stupid.
Yeah, so Bunny, I have Bloody Roar 1 and 2 on there. I also put on Evil Zone. I put on Evil Zone, played a little bit of Evil Zone last night. I played...
Evil Zone, like, is nostalgic for me. Not a good game.
It is terrible. It is an awful game.
It is a 2-button... Or maybe it's only 1 button. It's one just one.
It's just triangle.
It's just triangle. Just triangle.
Well, no, triangle and square.
Square is the physical. Triangle. Well, no. I think triangle is to use like powers.
No.
Like close and long range.
No, triangle is to hit, and you have to use like triangle down, triangle right, left, or something to use your powers. But the square is just for blocking. And I'm like, And I was telling my wife about when we used to play it. I was like, oh yeah, I used to play this guy. He was just like the cynical guy that like, you know, hates himself. And I forget his name. I forget what it is. And then I'd be like, used car salesman, you know, like stuff like that.
We loved used car salesman, the Power Ranger, and
can't believe it's not butter.
Can't believe it's not butter. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So I was telling her that, and then I showed her like the beginning of Chrono Cross, and she was like, I know that music. I was like, yeah, because I play that music.
Play all the time.
So
that stuff is stuck in my brain.
It is stuck in my brain. So we've been doing that. It's been a lot of fun. I've been playing on my VR from time to time, like just doing. They have like a real life fishing VR game that's like really popular. Like
Austin,
they take like.
You're the only person.
I know.
You're not the only person I know, because I'm sure other people are too. But the fact you're playing VR game, you're like, what would I love to be doing at any point in time? Fishing. Like, oh my gosh, this guy over here.
I love fishing, so yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, like I've been doing that, and then that's just pretty much it. Like I just been hanging out, really not doing too much, just getting ready. I know that I'm coming out this weekend to help my buddy Seth. His fiance is going for a bachelorette party for her sister, which is her best friend, so like she had to go. Like, you know, I get it. So they were like, hey, you know, like, and Seth was like worried about being all by himself with like 3 kids. And I was like, hey, I think I'm off that week. And he's like, really? And I was like, I'll come out and be with you. And then Mom was like, I would love to come out too.
No, don't say Mom did. I was the one who was like, you should ask Mom if she wants to come with you. And you're like, I'm not sure. And then then you're like, hey, Mom. And she was like, heck yeah, Dad, I'd love to. I love children.
But also too is my wife is leaving tomorrow. She's going to the Head Start National Convention in Cincinnati at the Great Wolf Lodge. So I'm going to be driving her down at noon with Mom. Mom's going to go with me. Drive her down, drop her off, and then drive back. The only other thing that did happen this week I wrecked my go-kart.
Oh no.
Didn't mean to do it. I wasn't in a race or anything like that. I did get to race on Monday. I came in. I was my first race. I almost won. Was on the last lap, and my axle bolt fell out, and so I crashed into the side of this the cones. That's not what I was talking about. So about a couple days later, so these motors that you can buy from Harbor Freight, they are like really small motors, but you can modify them, like put a new air filter on them and exhaust, and it'll go up in RPMs. So that's what I did. Then I found out there was a zip tie mod where the governor spring holds onto the motor and you can zip tie it. Well, I found out that if you did it too long, you could blow up the motor. So I was like, oh, I'll just do that. So I cut the zip tie off, and I went to go start it up again, and I forgot to re-release the throttle. And when I did, the cart took off, and I was on it. I was like on the side of it, and it dragged me like a couple feet, and then the cart smashed into the wall over here by my house. And so like I got scrapes, like I got like some rash here, I got some scrapes here.
And dude, what the freak?
Just so it sucked. It was horrible. Found out that I broke the arm frame on it, so I have to weld it and do all this other stuff.
Jeez, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, so
I'm
like,
sorry.
and then my buddy told me, he was like, "Hey, yeah, anytime you like mess with a motor, just put it on put the back on like the rear on a jack stand, so in case that ever happens again, it won't go anywhere." And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I should have told you that." And I was like, "Yeah, should have," but
yeah, it's all your fault that I didn't do something.
So,
I didn't
yeah.
research.
So yeah, it was a lot of, it is what it is. I've had a lot of fun on that go-kart thing, so I'm super happy about it. I have a whole bunch of Bob Burger stickers all over it, so it's pretty funny. So, but yeah, that's all I did this week. Not too crazy, but
No, it sounds pretty good. I mean, the crazy part was the wrecking part, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, Austin, talking about things that went crazy, let's talk about The Boys Season 5. Austin, I ask, what did you think about The Boys? The final season of The Boys, the TV show. There is a very big difference between The Boys book and The Boys TV show. What did you think about the TV show, Austin?
So going into the season, knowing that this was the end of The Boys, I thought I kind of knew that they weren't going to keep the same ending.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very curious on to see what they were going to do to end it. They did take some things out of the comic book, which was great. And then there was one thing out of the comic book I didn't think they were going to show, and they ended up showing it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And they kind of stayed a little bit true to the ending. There's a little bit things that are different from the ending in the comic than it is in the show.
Okay.
I know that they are doing a prequel series, which is Vought Rising, which is Soldier Boy and them. They're doing like a prequel, and I think they might do the Annie and Huey sequel too, because they let it off onto that. Because I didn't know this until like I think a year after I read the comics, that there was an extra book, and it was called like Huey reads, like Huey goes back to, in the book he's from Ireland. So he goes back to Ireland and he reads like a diary that's sent to him by Butcher. And it talks about how where he meets like Becca and their child and all that. So I was like, oh, well, I actually, out of all the other comic books I've read of The Boys, that one was probably the best one, because it was like so wholesome and it was like nice, instead of being just like this thing that we hate superhero like things, and Garth Ennis really hates superhero like things. Like that's why he wrote The Boys, is because he just hates superheroes. Like he just doesn't like how corny they are and stuff like that. So he wanted to put a realistic spin on it. But overall, I will say this: it was okay. It was okay, but I think also too, was it better than last season? Yes, I really agree with last season being the worst out of The Boys, but I will say this season was a little bit better. I did enjoy it more, just because they did take things from the comic book and aspects from the comic book, so they were like, hey, like this would work. Some things would not work from the comic book that today you cannot do, and I totally get that. Because I remember when this first got announced that The Boys were being made into a series, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna do that. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff in that comic, and they ended up doing not a lot of that crazy stuff. But overall, I was okay with this season. This season was okay. I know a lot of people are giving a lot of crap. I know Charlie, like Moist Critical, hated the finale. I get it.
Yeah.
But also too is I don't think there was anything that you could like really. I don't think there's anything really that you could top when it come to the comic, because the comic itself, I'm not really a big fan of the ending there. So
the issue with it, it's not about topping, it's about consistency, and that was the biggest issue that I had with this season. Was whoever wrote the stuff this season just chose to just like, this would be cool if this happened, or this was done in else thing, we should put it in this, and then forgets like 5 seconds later, like, hey, why? How come this time it works this way but not the other time? Yeah, it's like, huh? You know, my biggest gripe was A-Train. Like, that was super frustrating to me. Not even like 20 seconds into like the thing, they do the whole little like Marvel speedster where he stops and everything else is going really slow, and then he goes around like changing everything. Homelander's holding Huey, doing the laser beam going out, and he's able to push him out of the way before he takes any damage. And then, not even like 5 seconds later, he's running away and Homelander's able to keep up with him at the same pace. Mm-hmm. We just saw Homelander going at slow speed. But then, like, at this point, like, what happened? Like, all they had to do to fix that whole scene was to explain, like, that him doing that is like holding his breath. He can only do it for so long. And because he had to do that to save all those people, he was, like, too worn out to run away at top speed from Homelander, and that's why Homelander got done. They could have explained that earlier on and then set that up, and I wouldn't have had an issue with that. But when you introduce the ability for Teamsters to basically run at normal speed while everyone else runs at zero, like no speed, there's no world Homelander could catch him once he ran. But he does. He catch up with him. Also, if the world freezes for him, how is it that he has to out of the way of that girl? Everything else is so slow, and he's just running at a normal jog, or he just runs fast. Like, inconsistency. Like, that's all I ask for in like shows, is that power consistency stays. When you introduce a character like Homelander, who's the super powered individual, and you give him all these powers, the powers have to be consistent. Like, on the finale was very frustrating for me, because every time a character died as a superhero, they just were like, you know what? They forgot they have powers. Like, whenever Deep is strangling Noir, my first instinct, you know what I thought? Fly, dude. What the hell are you doing? Fly, you have super strength. Grab the cord and rip the cord. What are you doing? Like, this is a stupid way to kill a character with super strength. Yeah. And it's just like, Deep is strong enough to do this. I'm like, Deep has superpowers? Yes, he has superpower. He's also powerful in the sea. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we're going to have him get killed by animals in the sea, and he's just going to swim away like a normal human being. There's no power of, like, swimming. He just has the ability to breathe and talk to fish. That's apparently what his power is. He has no power to control them to do stuff. But yeah, he beaches a whale in, like, another season. Yeah. And it's like, wait, did he control that whale to beach that? Like, there's so much inconsistency with power. It was very frustrating me to watch. And then it was like, Kimiko gets laser blasted early on, gets cut in half. And then later, like, she gets hit with a laser and she just gets knocked off to the side. It's like, what? Consistency. Is his laser blast strong enough to cut through people? We see it all the time. It happens. His laser beam strong enough to cut his own skin. Yeah. Like, it's just the consistency is all I care about. Another one, like, that I think they didn't think all the way through when they did it. Is the "Oh Father" scene where he gets killed? Because like they wrap up to this idea. It's like this ball gag. No matter how much you scream, it will not stop it. The strap is reinforced, so like it won't be affected by you too, right? Mother Milk grabs that boy, puts that around the thing. The dude screams and like he dies, right? Why didn't Mother Milk's arms get ripped off his shoulder from the impact? His arms aren't reinforced. He didn't clamp that thing around his head. He just held it there. That should have threw his, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, those were the frustrating parts to me. If I completely threw that stuff out, which you know how my brain works, Austin. Those are the things I latch onto whenever I watch shows. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why is it this, right? Also, super corny that Mother or Sister Sage is like, I didn't count for him loving someone. It's like, love is the most predictable thing there is. For someone who's so smart, how could you be so stupid? You know? And it just, it's... And then she's like, oh yeah, I'm so smart, I don't even want to help you solve a way to, like, kill him. It's like, you're not smart then. What are you doing? Like, this is stupid. That was very frustrating. But if I look past all those things, right? If I look back all that stuff, I did enjoy the season.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that it ended. I liked how it ended in the form that Homelander dies. The progression to him, like, losing his powers makes sense. Mm-hmm. I was a little about the concept that he had to take the V1 and then he became immune to the virus. And they all just assumed that, I guess. Like, no one, like, they didn't test her or anything. They just weren't like, oh, he's fucking invincible now, Huey. What can we do? Boy, let's go back and bug the other kids. Like, no thought process on that. They're just like, oh, we have to come up with another way. That's what we'll do. We'll freaking make Kimiko able to do what Soldier Boy can do.
Yeah.
And then you're over there sitting like, okay, so this whole time we're over here like dying and looking for this V, when we could have just been saying, nah, let's just have Kimiko getting bombarded with freaking radiation this whole time, because Plan B worked so much better than Plan A. And it's like, what the, like, it was just that, right? But
yeah, I
also found Mother's Milk's story very kind of dumb. Where, like, he's like, my name's Mother Milk because, like, I was, like, fostering like, the little bird, and then it became alive, and I liked my new nickname because I liked the idea of fostering and caring for people. I was like, I'm pretty sure Mother's Milk name came from in the books, even though I've never read them. I've watched, like, videos where they talk about it. It's because he has, like, V inside of him that came from being birthed from his mom, and in order to live he has to drink her milk in order to sustain his, like, V inside of him. So he's called Mother Milk because he had to drink his mom's milk, and so people make fun of him, and that was like, I'm like, okay, that's a really effed up crazy reason for your friends to call you Mother Milk. But that story you told was just kind of a dumb story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, because the whole purpose in the comic was he got his superpowers because he was nursing. Because his mom had V in her, and then when she nursed him, that's how he became super strong. But at that point, like, that's why I was so concerned about this, because the comic is so different in so many different ways than the show. And, like, one of the big differences is, like, all the boys in the comic, by the first comic, like, I think the first 4 panels of the comic, they're all souped up. Like, they've all been taking V. So, like, you know, because, like, that's the thing that I was, like, kind of concerned with this show, was because me and Travis were talking about it and was like, hey, you know, I don't get it. Because, like, Butcher makes the example in the comic when he ejects Huey with it, because he just does it. He doesn't even ask Huey, like, hey, you know, do you want to be part of this team? He's like, you know, he's like, and he just stabs him with V and, like, ejects him. And he's like, you need to have this because one hit from one of these superheroes would kill you. And it's like, that makes sense. I get that.
That's how it, like, that is the thing, right? That is how it should have been through the whole, like, that makes the most sense. The idea of, it's like, we are just normal human beings. We have this prototype bot, we have this prototype V stuff, right? What it will do is give us the ability to be on even keel with the superheroes. We may not, sometimes our powers are kind of wonky. I love the idea of like a grab bag kind of deal thing, where like each of them takes it, and then like each time they take it, it's completely random, and so it's not something they can like predict. So when they go in to kill like a superhero or anything, they're not thinking, inject this, I'll have flight. It's like you inject it and suddenly your skin turns yellow and you're like, that's it? That's my superpower? That sucks, right? Like, that would have been fun for them to be like, we have to figure out how to kill these guys without the superpowers, but we have to inject ourselves in order to survive. To kill them. But so instead they kind of like did away with that, and everyone was just kind of humans, and then it made like the superpowers seem really weak all the time. Like, with it, like the one cat girl and the one dog guy, when they like go into the theater to like stop them and they're like punching them, I'm just like, it makes sense why Starlight's able to do this. She's a superhero. She can survive this stuff. Why does Mother Milk just like taking everything really easily? Oh, heroin's like a couple of stab of those things is enough to kill that woman. How are those needles strong enough to pierce her skin? She's a superhero.
See, that's
consistency.
So how the consistency works in the comics, which I actually enjoy, is so it doesn't give you, so most of the superheroes that are part of like the superhero teams they were born with that superhero gene.
Yeah.
The V itself all it does is give you super strength and vulnerability for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So like they could still fight, but they couldn't fly, they couldn't do all these other different powers. And that's why it was okay for that. But the whole concept of it was these boys were hired to take down soups that were doing bad things.
Which sounds like an awesome premise.
Yeah, you know, like they were going after like B and C level teams where like they were just like, you know, they weren't part of the 7, and then it ends up as the 7 because you find out that after those people that are exposed by that generational use of the V, they become, so this is a spoiler if you haven't read the comics, I'm going to tell you, after you die, you actually become a zombie. And what happens is when you're undead, you still have all the powers that you have, but you're like hungry, like for like, you know, just to kill people. You don't make other zombies. You're just like a creature pretty much. You don't bite someone and they become a zombie. But anytime you die, you that. So like Lamplighter, we see him in the show. In the comic, he dies early. That's why he leaves the 7 and they're bringing in Starlight. And then you come to find out that's the first interaction that I think A-Train and Starlight have. They start smelling like this like really foul thing under like this ship, and they come to find out it's Lamplighter, and he's dead. And Vought has been like Vought has known that this is what's going to happen, and they were going to use that as like a chemical warfare weapon where it's like, oh, we'll just kill all the soups and then they'll just eat everyone around. So that's the whole point of the comic. And so, but the thing is why I like the point of the comic of, one, I like them having those superpowers because it feels like they're just being hired to take out these terrible super people that are, they pretty much keep them in check.
Well,
like, they're not really supposed to kill them.
Yeah. It made reference to it. I felt like it kind of made reference to the concept of it in the end. When the one, the Carlos Exposito's character, I forget his name, basically explained that he's like, you know, a lot of superheroes are rogue, and so we need to like all them. We have to rethink the stuff that we do or whatnot. And so I thought like that was more of a call to that, where it's like, hey, we need a group of people who will keep the heroes in line, and the heroes need to like know that they are not gods, like Homelander thought he was.
So that is pretty much the premise of the comic book, is just they don't kill them. The boys don't kill those superheroes. They just beat them up really bad. And there's a part that's funny because Huey goes into his first battle and he ends up murdering this guy. like putting his hands to this guy's chest.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, I didn't mean it, like, and he's like, we don't kill, we just beat them up and tell them to stop being idiots. It's like, oh, okay. So like they try to keep them in check. And then it just like evolves into like the whole zombie thing, and like how the boys are involved with Homelander. Then you find out that Butcher is actually really been wanting to kill Homelander and doesn't like Soups because Homelander does the same thing in the show where
he I know about all that stuff. I know about the truth and everything that happens in that.
Yeah, but the thing is like Homelander is like being under a microscope in the comic book because he's being told that he's doing all these terrible, horrible things. And you're like, oh, he like killed his family, he like murdered these people, he murdered all these people, blah blah blah. And Homelander's like, I don't remember any of this. And like people are like, oh my gosh, this is like it kind of how Anthony Starr was in this that plays Homelander. Like everything he did, he doesn't remember it. And so they're like, oh, his ego is just so crazy, like he can get away with anything. So I don't know if you know this, but the big reveal of the comic is Black Noir.
Yeah.
Like you come out that he's a clone, and he's the one that was doing all the bad stuff. It wasn't Homelander. But at that point, they kind of like lead up to like Butcher. They kind of went with the same comic book ending where Butcher wants to kill all Soups.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing, and Huey stops him. But the difference is Butcher in the comics murders all the boys except for Huey.
Yeah.
He actually blows up Frenchie and Kimiko. He ends up, I think, beating. Yeah, I forget how he kills Mother's Milk. I forget how he does it in the comic, but he kills him. And it just leaves this in the Deep. I don't remember what happens to the Deep in the comics, which is really funny because I don't know if you know this, but so Amazon does those things where they do like screenings of like their shows. They had a series finale screening, and they were giving out popcorn buckets of like the Deep with his like mouth open, and everyone's just like, oh man, that's disgusting. And then once I saw the scene where like the tentacle comes up, it's like, oh, that's what the popcorn bucket was. It was just like that. But the thing was like the things that they did take from the comics is one, like Butcher is to a point that he wants to kill all Soups because of what they've done. He just doesn't want another Homelander, which makes sense. The other thing is they did take from the comics the way they kill Homelander, because that's what Butcher does. He literally opens up his skull and like pops his crowbar in and just smashes his brains all over the Oval Office, which is crazy.
You want to hear another consistency issue I have with that scene?
Yeah.
Why is the crowbar strong enough to go through his flesh? Now,
correct. It doesn't make sense.
Well, at that point,
but in the comic it would.
Well, no, in the show it makes sense. In the comic it wouldn't. Does he get blasted and lose his powers in the comic book?
No. So like, what happens
in the show? Kimiko hits him, turns him.
Yeah, he gets blasted.
That's why it works for the show, right? But then you like say like in the book that doesn't happen. I was like, well then how was a Iron Bar able to go through his flesh then?
So here's the thing. In the middle of the fight that Butcher has with Homelander in the White House, he rips out his eye. When he rips out his eye, that gives him the pry that he needs with the pry bar, with the crowbar. That's how he gets in the skin of him. That's what it is. But because it is actually more brutal in the comic. But a lot of Soups die at the end of that comic book because like they're all trying to defend against all these like all these superheroes show up and they're like, we're just gonna take over this country, and then the country's like, we've already had we've had things for this, so you're all gonna die. So they end up finding out that like there's like other weaponry that the humans, the normies, have made to kill Soups. It's just they never did it because they're like, we don't want to show our hand to the other countries that we can kill these things. Which is interesting. I like that, but I will say, I don't know. I enjoyed this season. I thoroughly did enjoy it. I do see the inconsistencies after you tell me, which is fine. I totally get it. But also, I'm to a point where I'm glad where they left it, where they ended it, because I think after last season, I was really burned out to a point where I was like, it doesn't make sense. A lot of the stuff that's going on, a lot of inconsistencies here. So yeah, I don't know. Like it was good. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best thing ever. I think season 1 was phenomenal. Season 1 is my favorite, but
I think they dropped the ball because of the consistency issues. Mm-hmm. I do think that if you can watch something and like just like let things go, like I have issue with that. That's like my issue. I think it's good enough that you can watch it and be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very much was getting frustrated with the power inconsistency. Because, like, in the end, when Homelander's like, I'm going to fly away, and then they're able to grab him, it's like, how are they so fast to grab you now when you literally threw someone, like, you went faster than A-Train not too long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, A-Train is really slow. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Unless I want to talk about the other speedster dude who was doing cocaine or whatever he was doing, just running into all those comedians. Apparently, he couldn't stop. Don't know why he couldn't stop. It showed that they could stop because they're so fast, but apparently not. Who knows? No. Oh yeah, and then let's also not talk to the fact that he's able to go so fast that he will blow people apart because he's going so fast, right? Which means that his body can withstand large amount of pressure, even if that. But then the dude can literally just sit there and just break his leg. He would have to be super tough in order to like go through someone, because he should have just instantly splattered with the person and they both died. It shouldn't have been one of them lived and the other lived. So him breaking his leg means that he would have to do more force than he could like give to receive. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just inconsistencies on like building things because of like stories or stuff. That's fine. You can have him running through individual like people and have no issue whatsoever. The fact that the dude was like running around throwing them in front of him to like stop him from like hitting him, I'm like, why are you afraid? He can't do that to you apparently. You could just break his leg. Also, I would have loved it instead of him like sliding into that thing. That doesn't make sense. He was at super top speed. He should have slid and just evaporated onto the wall like blood. Like he slid at super top speed and just ran into the wall. Like that would have been funny to me. That would have been like, you know what? I don't even care that technically doesn't make sense. That's funny right there. Like, but no, they just had him fall enough so he could give them information and get his head stomped in by Homelander. But that's life. That's what old people say. All right, Austin, do you have anything else you want to say about The Boys Season 5, the finale?
No, not really. I was going to say, you know, that's what it is.
I could keep dissecting it more and more, but like I said, I did enjoy it, but I have a very hard time looking past those little problems and inconsistency, because things sometimes don't make sense, and then I get frustrated at that. But for me, if someone can look past that, I tell them to watch it. Not bad. Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. So next week, we will be watching Good Omens Season 3, which is only basically like a movie, is basically what they did because of the allegations with Neil Gaiman and everything came out, and they just wanted to rush this to get it over with.
Yep.
To finish it up. So we will be watching that. The main reason why we're doing that, so everyone knows, is Austin's coming up, like he's visiting for the weekend and everything, so he won't have as much time. So we just think this is probably a good time to do this. It will be quick. When we come back and we talk, we'll do like a 30-45 minute episode depending on how much we have to talk. Because it's just a movie, it'll probably only be like 20-25 minutes. But who knows? Maybe we'll talk for like 10 hours about it. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know. Anyways, Austin, I want to thank you so much for joining me, as you do. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all out there so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Tune in.